Hello, good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be. Um, Yesterday, I have one hive in my backyard here, and yesterday I went out to check it and see if it had survived some of this cold weather. And the last 2 weeks have been like everybody knows down south, up north, it's been freezing. So finally, we got this warm break, and I didn't want to open my hive, but I did, and I cracked the top, and sure enough, there's lots of honey there, and it still has most of its weight, and I hear the buzzing. There's some bees in there still. So I was pleasantly surprised, as I thought for sure the hive was going to be dead, and it wasn't. So the bees aren't in the top box yet. I'm using a double deep up here in Ontario, Canada. Um, they're still in like kind of like the bottom middle section. I shouldn't have opened it, but I did, like I said, and I was relieved to see that they're still alive, and yeah, I got like it's not a regular inner cover. It's like one of those deluxe inner cover, so it's like a 2-inch riser with like the hole, and then there's like a cutout on the front, like a little square. So I think it's good ventilation. I was worried. I thought it might be too much ventilation, but I opened it. There's a tiny bit of water in the front, but the hive's got a nice tilt, so inside was dry. I was really surprised. There wasn't any moisture like dripping down back on the cluster. So I guess that contributes to some of my success as well. But I was also reading about this post someone just put about buying bees year after year and just hoping that one of your hives will survive so that you can, make multiple splits and get your numbers back up the following season. I'm really, really fighting to do that after I think this is going to be my 8th year now. And having to buy bees every year sucks. Even if they're from, I'm buying bees from one of the best guys that I can get them from, up here in Ontario. And anyways, I think his genetics are specifically adapted to a northern climate, and even still being treatment free, you suffer these heavy losses year after year, and like it's just really, really hard. So this man that's saying you have to breed your survivor stock, and everybody knows that that's so true, but it's just so difficult to get through. You might get 1 or 2 or 3 winters, and then boom, you get hit and you got to like start all over again. So the new strategy is, come spring, is just not for honey production anymore. It's just for colony production, and like I've always done, making splits, selecting the strongest stock that I have, and going forward with that. And it's not really for honey production. Like, you want to, okay, yeah, I want to pick bees that are really good honey producers, but it doesn't always work out like that. You need bees that are going to live. So so yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And honey production is just a bonus. I find selling honey gives you like a nice little boost sometimes for cash or whatever when you want to buy stuff. But really and truly, that I think it's just for the enjoyment of it, and trying to contribute to something going forward, you know. But yeah, I got a phone call here. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna revisit this. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so my cousin interrupted me there, but it's okay. Family is important. I lost my train of thought though, just talking about that survivor stock and all that, and going forward with your best. It's never been so true, but like I said, it's really hard to get those hives to overwinter. So now we've got a bit of a warm spell, and then it's going to get cold again. It's only January 10th. Uh, my one hive here has about, I would say, I think I left it with like 102 two deeps. I think it was about, I would say it was like about between 120 and 130 pounds of honey in there. And most of it's still in there because the weight of it is like pretty much unchanged. I tried to lift it from the bottom yesterday. Um, I know it wasn't a good idea to crack that lid, but I just had to find out. And after I did that, I got the buzzing started, and I closed it up right away. And I went around the front with a little entrance reducer there, and I could hear I could hear the buzzing through the front door. So I was like, okay, I sort of woke them up a little bit, and then they had to just, I guess, get the heat back in the hive. So they rustled them up a little bit, but other than that, I think everything's all good. And it's going to be another few months before I can probably check them again, or whatever. Another warm day in March, I'll be able to, they got lots of honey, but I don't know about the pollen, how long that's going to take them. So I don't know, being treatment free, I'll probably still put a pollen substitute. I usually do. I had them last year, but I left them out in my garage and the mice got to them and they chewed the shit right out of them. So that's that story. But you might be able to. A friend of mine worked at a brewery, and he said that the guy was using brewer's yeast and doing stuff and making pollen protein substitutes for beekeepers. So maybe that's something to think about as well, if you want to make your own or something. I don't know, but I'll probably just buy them, whatever. Yeah, so I won't open the hive, I don't think, until maybe the second week of March up here, and then we'll see. Like most people know, your colonies more die in the spring, I think, than overwintering. And there's people on here that are saying, well, cold doesn't kill bees, moisture does. And that's also very, very, very true, because it's been bitterly cold, and like, judging by the sound of the colony that it made when I disturbed it, I can sort of gauge the size of the ball of bees, dare I say. I don't know. So there's a moderately sized cluster still alive, which, as there probably should be this time of year. It's only January 10th. And I had a video that I posted on here. It was November 27th, I think. And the bees were flying because we had a 14-degree day. So it was interesting, to say the least. So anyways, I don't know, I'm kind of rambling now, but we'll see what happens, and we'll do like another checkup in March, and see. And I base this one hive that I have in my backyard here in a residential area. I sort of use it as a gauge, and then I got my 10 other hives up north, and it's sort of in a snow belt kind of area, so things could change. And like, it's not, my other location's not as sheltered from the front, and the ground falls away from the hives, and the wind tends to come up and blow right in their face. So I know it's not an ideal location, but I've been there for so many years, and there wasn't really anywhere else to set them up. But I think having them covered in snow is a good thing. Many people have also said, it provides insulation. So I can't even walk to my site now this time of year, because it's just, the snow is probably like 2 feet deep just from the drifts. So, but that could also play well in my favor, hopefully. But yeah, we'll see what happens, and you can comment and say what you want about what I've done. I know it wasn't a good idea. I'm not an amateur beekeeper by any means. I do know what I'm doing, but maybe opening the hive wasn't a good idea, and a lot of people are impatient and they want to know, well, if my bees are alive or dead. I don't have access to like a doctor's, what's that, stethoscope or whatever, and you can kind of listen. Like, I put my ear, didn't hear it. So anyways, I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you want more videos, let me know. Can't really post anything this time of year, but I'm interested in talking about it more now than ever, especially being treatment free and trying to go forward with bees that are healthy, and a honey product that is, free from contaminants. I bought this book. It was $35. I think I forget the author. I left it at my friend's house yesterday, but it's a really good book about organic and treatment free, and like, it just covers everything, and it's like a revised edition. I might make another video about that book actually at a later date. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.